Hi, everybody. My name is Rob Hunt, and I'm a partner with Grant Thornton Limited. And today we're going to have a conversation with another one of our trustees out of Alberta, and it's Frida Richer. And so, Frida, today we're going to talk a little bit about the pandemic that's going on and what the impact might be on consumers in Canada from a financial point of view. So, if you don't mind, can you tell me what advice would you give to people who are trying to manage their finances during a crisis such as this pandemic?
Well, good afternoon, Rob, and I hope you're staying safe and healthy. These are unique times, and I want to acknowledge that people are feeling very stressed right now. I mean, there's such uncertainty in terms of, when it comes to their personal finances, the uncertainty in whether they will go back to work anytime soon, the level of income. Right now, as we start the beginning of April, there are bills that are due, rent that's due. So it's an incredibly stressful time for some people. Despite that, I think what my best advice, number one, is to stay calm and not panic. I think that if people start to make decisions right now when they're in this heightened state of stress and uncertainty, that there could be some consequences down the road that they might not be too happy facing. And some things that, for example, I'm hearing people do are, dipping into either credit to buy goods, a huge quantity of items that they might not necessarily need, and just essentially panic buying. So just need to take a step back and know that this pandemic will end and things will return to some kind of new normal, but that you don't want to make some irrational decisions right now. Now, there are folks as well who are experiencing loss of income to the household, and that has a huge impact. And it's about getting back to the budgeting basics, knowing how much income's coming in, knowing what savings you have available to draw upon, and also looking at your expenses. I don't know about you, Rob, but certainly I haven't been going out as much, of course, with self-isolation, but less fuel in my tank, as well as eating out, and but certainly more in terms of food and groceries and essentials. So we're
Mm,
seeing those expenses go up as well.
right. So, Frida, you talk, one of your opening comments was really about people not, kind of not panicking at this point in time. It's kind of hard sometimes not to feel like you're in a panic,
Yeah.
right? And I've talked to a lot of people myself who really have you're talking from a position of fear right now. And I think one of the things that I've been trying to help people to do is kind of try to relax a little bit about it to the degree that we can, and help put into perspective with other things that might be going on in your life. But it's pretty tough because a lot of people are really having a tough time, understanding if they're going to have some of the income coming in to pay for some of those basic things. So I hear you with that, really great advice, and the way I would translate that to people is to um, make sure that, the way to avoid, panicking is to really inform yourself, I think, about what your options are, and understanding what your financial situation is in order to make sure that you um, have control over the situation as much as you can. Have you talked with people who have kind of felt that way, and what have you said to help coach them through those emotions?
Right, right, because of course their number one priority is the health and well-being of themselves and their loved ones, and I think that where people are starting to think about right now is prioritizing, shifting. Well, what are their priorities right now? And it's looking at that. Well, what the importance of wants versus needs. So first is focusing on your basic needs. You need groceries, you need your medicine. What's your greatest need right now? And then secondly, your housing needs. um, Making that call to the bank about deferring your mortgage payment if you need to, exploring that, and just trying to limit your spending as best as you can to absolute essentials during this time, because I think one of the things that I've talked about was emergency savings, and unfortunately uh, there hasn't been a level of preparedness, and people are recognizing that. But it isn't too late to start, building up the emergency savings, and it's put out there that 3 to 6 months, have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses, and that can seem daunting, but you can start if you haven't already started. So I think it's shifting the priorities to, conquering what's your greatest need right now, and then going from there.